Sometimes parents are irritated by the fact that their children are silly, and sometimes children are too silly. But let's talk about it for a moment. Silliness isn't evil, or it's not necessarily wrong. Sometimes children are silly just because they're fun-loving people, and other times they're silly because they're trying to get attention in one way or another. And so children need to understand. Some of it we just put up with because they're silly and we just enjoy them and we recognize they're going to grow out of the silliness at some point. But there's other times when we're going to see that the silliness that they engage in crosses a line. Now, it's a very important line because when they cross that line, then they become obnoxious or maybe rude, we would say. So it's the line that we want to draw attention to. Now, helping a child become more sensitive and self-controlled are the two heart qualities we're working on here. Sensitive to the line and self-controlled to manage themselves when they get close to the line to pull back. And many children don't even know that a line exists. And so part of our job is to create awareness and raise the awareness level for a child so they can see when their silliness is starting to irritate people. So that's our first step, is create awareness. And I would suggest sometimes what we're doing is we're stepping in and saying, we're pulling a child out of the room and saying, hey, are you noticing that your brother's starting to get annoyed with you? You're being silly and it's crossing the line. Those words, crossing the line, are good words for children to hear because it helps them to see that there's a point at which their silliness has become insensitive. And we always have to be thinking about other people, not just thinking about ourselves. I think that's why we look at Philippians 2, 3, and 4 and appreciate it. It says this: do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interest of the others. What we're doing here is recognizing that I must consider someone else's needs. And sensitivity is something that many children don't have, especially children I find who have ADHD, those kids we're working with. One of the things they lack is social skills sometimes. And so we're looking for ways to help them have stronger social skills. And many times that requires that we draw attention to the line, that they've crossed the line. Maybe it's not silliness. Maybe they're just getting in someone's face or talking too much. But it's the silliness we're focusing on in the moment here. And some children just think it's funny to be silly, and it likely is. There's some silliness that's fine, and we enjoy the play that we go into, but it's the sensitivity we want to draw attention to. So drawing a child out and saying, hey, look, you've crossed the line there. You need to think about it. Or sometimes even I encourage parents to create a silent signal with a child, to be able to put up a finger like this or to look at a child in a certain way. And when you do, that's the signal that says, oh, be careful, you're getting close to that line, or maybe you've crossed the line here. Now, once we identify that line and we're drawing attention to it, the next quality we need is self-control. Self-control is one of the strongest character qualities we give to children. And so we're always looking for ways to develop self-control in children to help them to be able to pull back and not just display their misery or display their silliness or argue with whatever or be upset. Self-control is so valuable that we help children develop. So you want to think about ways to develop that self-control. Sometimes it means we have children wait. You're asking for a snack? Yes, I want to give you a snack, but we're going to have that in 15 minutes. And then the child has to respond to that inside the workshop of the heart. So what we're doing is we're helping children to see that sometimes their silliness crosses the line and they need to pull back and they need to calm down a little bit before they go into the situation, because what they're doing is being more irritating and provocative in ways that aren't good. So let's help our children deal with some of the silliness. Enjoy it. It's fun. It often goes away sooner than we would like as children get older. But there also has to be that sensitivity and self-control that the children need to develop as well.